Welcome to the Crypto Breakdown Kadena Whiteboard mini-series. In this mini-series, I'm going to help you understand every aspect about the Kadena blockchain from a first principle standpoint. In today's video, I'm going to explain Chainweb. Now, this is definitely going to be over pretty much everyone's head, so I don't blame you if you can't understand what I'm saying. But after I explain Chainweb on a developer level, I'm going to try my best to break it down in layman terms so that everybody can understand why Kadena is 100 times more advanced than any other blockchain in the industry. Ready? Let's dive deep. Chainweb is the public blockchain of Kadena. Chainweb is a blockchain architecture that combines many proof-of-work blockchains together using a single cryptocurrency to perform cross-chain, special-purpose vehicle transfers at a smart contract level. The Chainweb architecture provides high levels of proof-of-work throughput while maintaining a constant global hash rate and energy requirements. Benchmark testing of the Chainweb protocol has demonstrated that it can operate 1,000 plus blockchains all at once and process approximately 10,000 transactions per second. Are y'all with me so far? I mean, even if you don't fully understand what I'm saying, you should be able to understand how advanced this technology really is. They took the security of Bitcoin and they took the smart contracts from Ethereum, and then they spent 7 years building a new smart contract coding language that fixes over 90% of the issues currently plaguing the blockchain industry. Put it this way, just imagine how powerful Ethereum would have been if it never hit any scaling limitations. Or better yet, just imagine how powerful Bitcoin would be today if Bitcoin had smart contracts, zero transaction fees, and no scaling limitations. I think a $3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin would be an understatement. Okay, now let me try to break this down from a beginner standpoint. Chainweb is a new parallel chain proof-of-work architecture comprised of braided chains that all mine the same native currency, and they all transfer liquidity between each other. That means that Chainweb has 20 Ethereum-like blockchains that are all connected and run together side by side. What really makes this unique is how they connected the blockchains together. They do so with a technique called hash braiding. Now, unfortunately, it would take me like 10 to 15 minutes just to explain what hash braiding is, so I'm going to do that in the next video. Now, unlike existing architecture and proof-of-work blockchains like Ethereum and Bitcoin, Chainweb has the ability to massively increase throughput without significantly increasing hash power. And yes, you heard that right. That means that if Ethereum or blockchains like Bitcoin wanted to increase their throughput, or add a second blockchain, they would need to double the hash power to secure the blockchain. Because Kadena figured out a way to braid the chains together, they can add more chains to the network without needing to increase the use of electricity. Chainweb has the potential to grow to at least 1,250 chains, which it allows the layer 1 blockchain to execute up to 10,000 transactions per second, while maintaining the unmatched resilience against fraud and censorship that proof-of-work blockchains offer. The design of Chainweb began with the idea of adding Bitcoin's simple payment verification capabilities, aka SPV, to Kadena smart contracts. SPV, also known as light client support, allows users to verify a particular transaction without processing the entire blockchain. This verification is done by querying the blockchain for a Merkle proof. As a result, you get a proof of hashes, transactions, and its history that is stored in a tree-like data structure. Starting from the transaction stored in the leaves adjacent transaction, the hashes are merged together to form a new node in the tree, with the most recent transactions proof forming the root of the tree. In Chainweb, multiple blockchains run in parallel, each minting different coins and exchanging them trustlessly with SPV. With 2 parallel chains, overall transaction throughput doubles. Each chain publishes a prior Merkle root of its peer chain in each block header, effectively using cross-chain consensus to establish that each chain has an oracle of the other's chain's Merkle roots. The native Kadena token can be moved from chain to chain via the SPV, and it achieves a single view of transaction history across all chains. Each chain hashes the Merkle root of its peer chain into its own chain, and then it inspects the Merkle root to validate that the branches do not diverge. The end result being a braid of chains structured like a web that can only be attacked as a whole. To maliciously fork any chain or attack the network, the attacker must gain more than 51% of the hash power of the entire network. What that means is on blockchains like Bitcoin, each block is connected to the previous block via a hash. Think of a hash like a math problem that only has one answer. If you change the math problem itself, you change the answer. Because these types of math problems only have one answer, if you type in the same problem, you get the same answer. No two math problems ever have the same answer. When a new block is mined on the Bitcoin blockchain, the miners that mine the block also start the next block. Inside that next block, he places the hash from the previous block into the new block as the first transaction, meaning that it puts the answer to the math problem from the previous block into the new block. If anybody tries to change the problem, aka meaning they changed the information in the previous block, it would change the answer, and thus it would tip off all of the miners in the network and they would know that somebody was trying to tamper with the blockchain. So hashes are what link blockchains together. Because Chainweb has 20 blockchains all running together, all blockchains are connected via their own unique hash. The chains braid all these hashes together into one super chain. In order to attack the Kadena blockchain, an attacker would need to gain 51% of the hash power from the entire network. In Chainweb, the braided chains incorporate Merkle proofs from adjacent chains in a fixed graph style layout that ensures that proofs are quickly propagated to every other chain in the system within a minimum block depth. The fixed graph structure for Chainweb follows solutions to the degree diameter problem, which allows for a maximum propagation of information within a minimum specific number of hops and a minimum number of messages between chains. What that means is that the Kadena blockchain doesn't connect all blockchains directly together. If it did so, it would need to store the hash from every blockchain in every block. That would be way too much data to store in every single block. The graph theory hash braiding blockchain architecture is exactly what the Kadena team got a patent on. So good luck for any competition out there attempting to build a blockchain more superior than Kadena. They figured out a way to structure the blockchain so that every chain connects to each other, but not like you'd think. Here is what 10 blockchains look like connected all together. If you take a look at the graph on the screen here, you can see how the Kadena team connected 10 blockchains together. And notice each blue dot represents one blockchain. But notice how each blue dot only connects to 3 other blue dots. Pretty cool, right? Each blockchain's not directly connected to another, but you can get to any blockchain on this chart with only making 3 moves. You're only 3 moves away from the farthest chain. On August 20th of 2020, the Kadena team wanted to prove to the world that they could scale, and they scaled up from 10 blockchain architecture to a 20 blockchain structure. And they did all of that on mainnet. This is what it looks like when they connected 20 blockchains together. I mean, it's pretty crazy, right? And if you notice this 20 chain architecture, how far are you away from the farthest chain? You are only 3 chains away from the farthest chain, which means they are only storing 3 hashes in every block, and they are connecting 20 blockchains together. Mind blowing. It's pretty crazy. I will make a separate video that breaks down how hash braiding works so that you can understand everything I just explained in this video. So that's a wrap, crypto fam. If you want to learn more about Kadena, check out my Kadena Whiteboard playlist. Links to this are down in the description, and if you have any questions, come join us live on my second YouTube channel.